Hi everybody, it's Scott and Alex back for another episode in the Wilderness Survival Series that we're doing with Boy Scouts Troop 102. This one is going to be Chapter 6, Managing Fear, and Alex is going to help me talk about it. We just got done cutting some brush around here and thought maybe we'd just take a break and do this. So a couple of years ago, Alex and I were hunting at our camp up north, and we were taking a break and we saw something that was pretty amazing. It was a hunter that was lost, and I'll let Alex tell the story from his perspective.
So basically we were just chilling and eating, and then somebody covered in sweat comes booming through the woods, like jogging pretty fast. And he's not even bothering going around trees, he's just tearing right through them. And then he runs up to us, and then he's like trying to find his way back to his house, and it's not even that far away, like maybe half a mile away. And he had to meet up with his daughter or something like that.
Right.
And he was asking us for directions.
Yeah, so there's a lot in that little quick story. I know this guy personally, and he was hunting in an area that was completely boxed in by paved highways, paved roads. And it's about 1 square mile of an area in there, and he actually lives on one of those roads. So as the crow flies, he was no more than half a mile from his house. When he came to us, I don't know if I've ever seen anybody that panic-stricken. He was just barreling through the trees with his head down and his rifle slung, and he wasn't even trying to push the branches out of his ways. In fact, he ran right up to us. We were in Hunter Orange. He was no more than 20 yards away before he ever even realized there was 2 guys in front of him. And remember his reaction? He said, "Oh my God, I'm so glad to see you. Where in the world am I?" And I said, "You're 150 yards from the road." The other thing about this area too is there's a very big swamp in there, and the land is all pitched from high to low. So if you walk downhill, you'll hit a road. That notwithstanding, what we saw was fear. What we saw was panic, and I was glad Alex was there to see it. Because when the guy finally left, we gave him directions and told him which way to go, and he was good after that. Alex asked me, "Dad, what's the matter with that guy?" And I said, "Well, step up a bit." I said, that's panic. That's when people are lost. And so let's talk about what some of the causes of fear are. Why would this guy be so scared? Well, one of the things is he had a meeting to attend to. He was going to meet his daughter in the woods at a certain time, and he was late, and that had him all shook up. So, you know, that's part of it right there. We live by the clock. We're slaves to the clock. We always have some place that we need to be, and, you know, that causes a lot of stress, and it can cause us to react poorly. One of the biggest things that I see is ridicule. You're afraid of being made fun at by your friends, by your family. Everybody's going to know you're the guy that got lost and they had to come find you, and that causes a lot of embarrassment, and nobody's down with that. Some kids, not you I hope, are afraid of punishment. Like if you're not home at a certain time, you're in big trouble. Or if you make your parents worry, you make your mom nervous and worry, you're in big trouble. So let's put it out there to the kids. You're not in trouble, okay? You take that off the table. That's not part of the equation. Many of us don't like to be alone. We're social creatures, and a lot of people don't like to be apart. I'm seeing it with Alex during this pandemic where he's not around his friends. He hasn't been around another kid his age in 6 weeks, something like that now, and it's having an effect. So fear of being alone. A lot of people are afraid of animals in the woods, black bears, coyotes, mountain lions, that type of thing. Darkness. And a lot of people are afraid of darkness, and if you're ever in the woods on a cloudy night with no moon and no stars, you're going to see what darkness really is. Some are afraid of the unknown. You know, we see all these movies on TV and they scare the hell out of us, and we take some of that into the woods with us. I remember when I was a kid and I saw Jaws. You know, I'm almost 52 years old, and I still can't go in the water without thinking about that stupid movie. So those things have an effect on us. And in the woods, some people remember the Blair Witch Project TV show or something like that.
I don't even remember that.
Then there's death. We're afraid of dying out there in a miserable fashion. And a few people are just don't want to be uncomfortable. And if you spend the night in the woods unexpectedly, I can promise you, you're going to be uncomfortable. It's not the end of the world, but it's something you're going to have to manage. So what are some of the signs of fear? What are some of the signs that somebody's in panic mode. Let's take that hunter for an example. What were some of the things he was doing?
He was sweating really bad.
Sweating is a big one, right?
It seemed like he was panting.
Panting, out of breath, exhausted.
It looked like maybe he was a little shaky.
Yeah, trembling, shaky. You nailed it. How about his speech?
His speech, it seemed like he was like stuttering a bit.
Yeah, stuttering. Alex is right. Those are all the telltale signs of somebody who's in panic mode. Quick pulse, trembling, pupils dilating if you can get close enough to check that. Perspiration, sweating, dryness in your mouth. For the individual, they feel a need to run, to move quickly, to go to another place, to leave this area that they're in. So if you see that in yourself, any of those symptoms, or in others, that's fear and that's panic. So we need to learn how to control this fear. There's something I learned years and years ago called tactical breathing, and I think I might have even talked about it on the other videos. When you're feeling all those feelings welling up inside you, you need to stop, which we've talked about, and take 4 deep breaths. Breathe in for 4 seconds. Hold it for 4 seconds. Let it out for 4 seconds. And do that again, and do that 4 times. And you're going to find a lot of these feelings are going to get pushed back down. This is something for public speaking. If you're going to perform a sports function, read a speech, sing a song if you're into music, or play an instrument, try that tactical breathing, and it works good when you're lost too. I think the biggest thing is training and exposure to the elements. The more time you spend in the woods, the more knowledge that you have, the more experience that you have, and that's experience in building a shelter, land navigation, getting water to drink. All these things, land navigation is huge. If you can figure out where you are and move around in the woods comfortably, if you ever do find yourself in a bad situation, it's not going to be nearly as bad. We fear what we don't know. We fear what we don't understand. These boys are getting lucky because they're going through a lot of this survival training. We're going to actually do some campouts, and they're going to be exposed to this. And this is going to help a lot. The other thing is be prepared. Don't go into the woods half-cocked. Go in there dressed properly. Go into the woods with food, water, shelter, signal, fire, medical, all those things we talk about in your pack, so that if you do get to spend a night or two, it's not that big a deal. And when you're thinking about this, okay, I'm making a decision here, I got to stop moving, I'm going to be spending the night here, you know you've got the resources to get through it fairly comfortably. Don't forget that good trip plan. If you tell people where you're going and when you're expected back, that's going to go a long way to finding out, or them finding you. Some fun things you can do besides just camping out in the woods. Try orienteering or geocaching. Those are great ways to build your skills in a fun way and get your confidence up, because confidence is what you need in this situation. The last thing is that if you're in a group and you're lost, somebody's got to take the lead. And if you are the natural leader or the appointed leader, however it works out, you're the guy, your folks are going to be looking to you for a cue on how to behave. If you run around like a chicken with your head cut off, they're going to follow suit. If you're calm, if you're cool, if you're collected, if you're thoughtful, if you're polite, and you're just giving instructions in a clear, calm voice, that's going to calm them down, and that's going to bring them back down to earth too. So practice that. Anything else to add?
No.
Well, that's pretty much it. That's Managing Fear, Chapter 6 in the Wilderness Survival Manual. Thank you.